Good Tuesday morning, everyone. Welcome back to Weather with Sim again. I hope you guys are all having a great day so far. And in today's weather forecast, we're going to be going over this severe weather pattern that is likely going to be causing a lot of issues across the eastern Rockies, heading into the plains, and maybe even as far east as the Great Lakes region these next few days. So we definitely will be going over that, and then we will be talking about hurricane season once again. And there's something really wild we're going to be talking about at the end of this video that did surprise me a lot, and so you're probably going to be surprised about it too. But let's first go ahead and start off about what's going to be happening for today. And I did choose a little bit of a different setup for my severe weather, and that's because it shows both the Colorado State University and as well as the Storm Prediction Center, so I didn't have to do as much to be able to show this for you guys. It may be a little bit harder to see, but I still thought it was really good though, so I thought I would go ahead and do it for today's video. But as you guys can see, we do have a threat for a few tornadoes across parts of northern Montana heading into northeast Montana. So if you guys do live in that area, you guys need to make sure you guys have ways to receive alerts, because we cannot roll out a brief spin up tornado there. For the wind threat, we do have a threat for some damaging winds, even as far down south as northern New Mexico and a little bit there the panhandle of Texas, but it's mostly going to be up here towards Montana where we see that highest chance. And I'm pretty sure this is actually the hail threat, by the way, not the wind threat, but the hail threat actually, because I remember we did see a hatch risk for damaging winds, and you know that black outshading color that you see right there across that red, that indicates a 75. That indicates that we may see 75 mph winds. That's probably should have how I explained it, is that 75 mph winds or greater are possible in this black shading color that you see around that red color. And then in the yellow color, we still do have a chance for some damaging winds, but it doesn't look to be as concerning as this hatched and as well as this red color that you see right there. And then around that, we may get some, gusty winds in some areas, but chances are extremely low. We also need to be paying attention across Florida a little bit, because we could see a few isolated thunderstorms capable of producing some gusty winds and maybe even a little bit of brief hail, but not really looking like anything too concerning for Florida though. So our main concern looks to be across extreme eastern Wyoming and even extreme western Nebraska, heading into northeast Colorado, and as well as northwest Kansas, looking to be the bullseye today, as 75 mph wind gusts or greater will be possible with some storms. So it is always best to be on high alert. Let's now go ahead and look at tomorrow's threat, and as you guys can see, we don't really have much of a tornado threat for tomorrow, thankfully, so not really looking anything too concerning, because all areas will be less than 2%. However, we do have a long stretch of some damaging winds heading from southern Canada all the way back down into the panhandle of Texas, and same for hail. So we may see, some lines of storms developing and moving across this, area capable of producing some damaging winds, maybe up to 70 mph in some areas. It's just the concerning look of this marginal risk that's really making, things a little bit more concerning. And then, we may get upgraded to a slight risk somewhere in this area, because the Colorado State University does point that out. Is probably be across parts of Nebraska heading into southern South Dakota, where we may see that slight risk get issued. But as of right now, just a huge marginal risk for damaging winds heading from Canada all the way back down into the panhandle of Texas, and same goes for hail. So if you do have any plans tomorrow, you need to make sure you are at least weather aware tomorrow, as like I said, some damaging winds up to 70 mph, and even some isolated large hail is also possible. Let's now go ahead and look at severe weather in the future, and as you guys can see, for Thursday, day 3, we do expect there to be some severe weather still continuing across parts of the upper Midwest, but then it kind of dies down a little bit, and none of these days really look concerning. We may still have a little bit as we head into Friday and as well as the weekend, but as of right now, for the rest of this week, it doesn't really look very concerning after Thursday. Let's now go ahead and start talking about the tropics, and as you can see, no area of development at all, so we don't really need to be taking a look at this, but I did want to show you guys that we still have Tropical Depression Gordon out here in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, still capable of maybe turning into a hurricane as it continues up to the north, but keep in mind that this is not going to impact any land. I know you guys might feel like it may head to the east and kind of curve, kind of like what Beryl did back in July, but that's not going to be the case with Dual Gordon, though. We're talking mainly a fish storm, so if you got any plans, you are looking fine, because like I said, this is not going to be impacting any land at all. Let's now go ahead and talk about in the future, and this is something that we could really be seeing as we head into the end of September. This looks to be our next hurricane this month, and look how this model shows this, okay? We're talking a very, very powerful hurricane potentially as we head into September 28th, which will be at the very end of this month, like I said, impacting parts of Florida heading into Alabama, so that would be really wild if we did see something like that. And just to be honest with you, this does look pretty catastrophic, so maybe even getting up there towards category 4 strength if this were to intensify. And I mean, the GFS model is pretty bullish a lot of the time, so it sometimes does just want to point out something random, but I am kind of agreeing with this though, just because this model has been showing it the last couple of days, and some of the other range models are also pointing this out too as well. So we definitely gotta be keeping an eye out for it, but obviously take this with a grain of salt because things will change with this. But like I said, I do expect something like this to happen as we head into the end of this month, so it's probably best to prepare right now still before we start to see some more hurricanes come in. So make sure to make some preparations and prepare right now before things just get more worse. And then look what happens after it impacts Florida. Okay, we are even looking more far out than what we just did, and so that's probably going to even remain more uncertain. But as we head into September 29th, which will be my birthday, by the way, we are expecting this to be a tropical storm, or maybe still a category 1 hurricane as it heads into Mississippi. And then on September 30th, look what happens. Okay, we are talking a lot of widespread heavy rainfall across parts of the Midwest and as well as the Ohio Valley, probably even more wild than what Francine could have gave us. And so this is definitely not going to be let down for a while unless things do change. But like I said, I really do think that this is going to be a possibility as we head into the end of September. So you guys need to be taking this seriously as of right now, because I mean, regardless of if we saw a hurricane or not, you guys still need to be prepared. And then we even start to see another storm system come in, which is one of the storms that are potentially bringing more severe weather to the upper Midwest. Let's look at what we may see for the total rainfall. Okay, we are looking really far out, all the way to October 1st, which is over 15 days out from now. And look at this, okay? We are talking a lot of rainfall potentially from the system. And like I said, when the GF out model showed it, it looked pretty catastrophic to say the least. And look at that, parts of western Cuba right there seeing over 24 inches of rainfall in this yellow shaded color. And over up here towards Florida, it doesn't look to die down. It looks to continue strength. strengthening, and those, brown, yellowish colors that you see right there could be indicating as much as, 20, maybe even 24 inches of rainfall across that, bend of Florida right there, but more towards Panama City Beach, looking to be seeing some really nasty rainfall totals from the system if it develops. Like I said, this model is pretty wild in some cases, and we are looking really far out, but still, like I said, this is going to be a possibility, so it's always good to prepare for the worst. Let's now go ahead and take a look at those water temperatures in the Eastern Pacific, and like I said, we are at least in a La Nina as of right now. We are at least in a weak La Nina, and some of the models are still showing that those waters may be a little bit warmer, but this one right here is showing that those waters have dropped below negative 0.8, and we are getting very close to a degree Celsius right there, as you guys can see. So that is pretty wild, to be honest, when you're talking almost a degree Celsius, because a degree Celsius is equal to 33 degrees Fahrenheit, and so we're talking 33 degrees Fahrenheit below average, and so that's well below average for parts of the Pacific Ocean. And yeah, it does actually show almost a degree right there, just a little bit less as of right now because it's negative 0.9, but by the time it does reach that 1, then we will really be seeing a La Nina, so definitely get ready. Let's now go ahead and take a look at those overall sea surface temperatures, and look at that. Okay, we got a lot of cool water already surging in, and that's our almost strong La Nina right there, because like I said, we are almost a degree below average, or 33 degrees Fahrenheit below average in this entire area right here. We also need to be keeping an eye on this area over here too as well, because we got a lot of areas seeing up to 30 degrees Celsius, which is 85 degrees Fahrenheit, not to be exact, but somewhere around there. We're seeing almost 80 degrees Fahrenheit, and even some of these areas almost reaching 32, and that's some areas near Cuba, some areas by the extreme bottom part of Florida where the peninsula is. We are talking maybe as high as 32 degrees Celsius below average, which would be over 90 degrees Fahrenheit. So unfortunately, this is definitely looking to be warm enough to where rapid intensification could occur with that storm that we just went over, and that's probably one of the reasons why the GFS model wants to point that out. But thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy today's weather forecast. If you guys are new here to the YouTube channel, or if you haven't subscribed already, please go down below and press that subscribe button. I really do appreciate you guys getting me closer to 500 subscribers, but my goal was to really reach 500 subscribers before fall. So if you guys will please hurry and get me up there, that would be great. Don't forget to like down below too as well, and even press that notification bell so that way you are notified whenever I do go live, because I will go live at certain times that I might not expect. And that was kind of like yesterday's live stream, where I didn't really think I had to do a live stream today, but I decided I would, because that system off the Carolina coast really got its act together and brought some major flooding. So you guys can go watch that live stream if you guys want, and that will pretty much be the latest one if you go to the live section. And I will also be doing a winter forecast as we head into October too as well, which will feature a few different things compared to what we have talked about in the last few preliminary winter forecasts that I have done. But it will still feature a lot of of the same things. But the best thing to do for that is to please subscribe to my YouTube channel. That will really help me out a lot when I'm making it. But I hope you guys all stay safe and have a great rest of your day.